Hello people, welcome in another video. So again we'll be working my E60 drift project car, and in this video main focus will be alignment, installing rear alignment control arms. But first we can talk a little bit about tires. I have tires here, tires on the car, tires there, so let's see what we have for this winter. Okay, so for tires we have these 17-inch that are summer tires that I'm still running in case there is really no snow on the track, especially as in the last track day I ran winter tires in the front and summer tires in the rear, and actually it worked out, I believe, pretty great, though I didn't test other configurations. And this is what I currently have on the front. It is a winter tire, but it is 18-inch wheel and it is 245 tires, so it's quite wide, especially for the front. We want something a little bit thinner, I guess. Also 18-inch, it's quite big in diameter, quite heavy, and we don't really need that. And these are all the other tires I have. This I had on my other winter beater. Quite good winter tire. It is still 225 width, but that's definitely better than 245. So if we still need to run summer/winter tires on regular track where we can't run studded tires, then we will use these in the front/rear and same 17s as we didn't run previously if we need summer tires. And I am also planning to run some ice tracks this winter. So I have these. It's 16-inch wheels, so we will need small spacer there. 205 width, so definitely quite thin wheel. It is studded, and pretty much everybody is running this tire for ice driving. It's still street legal. It's legal in most ice tracks. Some ice tracks might not allow full like rally studded tires with big studs. So this is Michelin X Ice North 4, and everybody seems to be running them. I just bought them new so that I can get full experience on ice with all the studs and everything in place. I have these Borbet wheels. I don't know how they will look on a car. These are pretty much just some spare 16-inch rims that I have. 2 are red, 2 are black. It is what it is. Might look funky on a car, but this is our plan for ice tracks this winter. We also need to do some work on all these, so let's check what do I have here. So, first off, these are not mine. I'm just keeping them. Those are from Mercedes. We have a lot of 16-inch tires for drifting. That's for, of course, summer, for competition. I have my G30 summer tires, although the tires might need changing. I have some 17-inch style 32s. Those are definitely too, I guess, rare. They're not really rare, but too rare to run on track. I just bought these. I don't know why. They look funky and fun, so we'll see if we happen to use those. But these are the ones that I want to talk about. These are my 16-inch drift tires. I have 8 of them. There are 6 here, 2 on the car. They run all these tires essentially for competition, 16-inch to put quickly on the car. Currently on this car and the rear I have 2 other. New regulation comes in my class in the next season that I need to have colored spoke on the car. That's of course all simple and easy, but some of them look really like crap. Let me quickly show you. It does not really wash off, and all the paint is coming off and shit like that. So we will need to get them powder coated, and I want to do it through the winter, so on summer we can run fresh, nice tires. So a quick montage of removing all the tires from all the 8 rims, 6 here, to there. Let's go. Alright, I now have 8 rims ready to go get sandblasted and powder coated. What I need from you guys is deciding what colors should they be. Both of my drift cars are black with red angel eyes, so they look like this and like this. I hope that I named the pictures. So yeah, 3 colors I have in mind, keeping them silver as they are now. I kind of like silver rims. The next option for me is either white or red. The black wheels, I don't like black wheels. That's not really an option for me. I think the wheels should be visible. Black wheels just disappear, but that's a controversial topic. So please let me know in the comments what color should I choose. I don't know, in the next month or so I will bring them to be powder coated, so have some time to figure it out. Okay, let's get back to the E60 action. Before we dive into the whole suspension stuff, I really want to give the car a wash, because after previous rainy / snowy track day it looks just terrible, but I cannot drive the car anywhere. So the engine has developed a small tick. It does not sound ideal. The issue here is that the oil level has dropped. I did not change the oil on this car, but there was enough oil. It was almost new oil when I checked it. Most likely WD-40 or WD-30, something like that, has been used. And yeah, I had a similar issue with my E46 track car previously. After a few laps, the oil level dropped and then just developed a small tick. And that issue was resolved by putting on thicker oil. And this is what we'll be using. 10 WD-60. I use the same oil also in my E46 drift car, which has exactly the same engine. And after switching to race oil, the issue disappeared. I really hope they have not yet damaged the engine, because I did not hear any tick when I was driving the car on track. But hopefully it is all fine. I will not bother you with showing the oil change. I have plenty of videos on that and you know how to do it. I just wanted to quickly cover issue with oil on these engines and really hope that the issue will be resolved by changing it. Okay, change the oil. Small note, there is still a small tick in the engine, which probably is hydraulic valve lifters. We'll just ignore that for the time being. It's not that crucial for us for now, but we are due to change hydraulic lifters in the engine. Went to the car wash, car looks a lot better, so we can finally start working on the suspension. I have not yet fully heard back from BC Racing about the front camber plates and different springs, because the front coilovers went with wide springs meant for original top mount for the shock. And yeah, to install camber plates you need thin spring, and yeah, we'll still trying to figure it out, but we do need to get alignment on a car, so for the time being that will stay. In this video we will now work on the rear and install these adjustable control arms. Nothing too much to say about them. They are adjustable, will help to get rear camber in proper, because the car is a little bit lowered, but we don't want the wheels to sit like this, because on the load they sit even more like this. So we install these rear adjustable control arms, and then we can head over to alignment shop to get proper drift alignment for the car and be ready for the next track day, which is, I don't know, there's track day this weekend. I will not make to that one, have other plans, but I guess in about 2 weeks we'll have another track day, so let's get ready for that. All right, these are the two control arms we are talking about here, allowing us to adjust all kinds of action up here. In a kit, of course, I have for the both sides. They do seem to be exactly the same, so it doesn't matter which one we choose. We'll go on like this for one side, and this one will go in there like this. Chooks and in. So let's remove the old ones and try to install new ones. I don't know how it will go. Let's try. Now with the original arms removed, you can actually generally compare the aftermarket ones. See if the bushing sizes are the same. Yes, they are. And lengthwise, well, that's what you can adjust now. Probably I want to set it somewhere around the same as this one, because I guess adjusting this one will be tricky on the car because it really wants to move in all directions because it's bent. So that will be fun for alignment, guys. Yeah, it's a little bit shorter, but that also might be fine for us. I'll put it roughly around the same on both sides and see where we can go from there. Okay, that's the one. Yeah, that's close enough to where it was before. So yeah, now we can install the new parts. Alright, the control arms are now changed. A really simple process, apart from it's quite tricky to get to those inner nuts. But it's not too big of an issue. Get them out, get the new ones in. I'll quickly now do the other side, and then we'll probably head to alignment shop. Alright, the rear control arms are changed. Also on the other side, both adjustable control arms installed. This is also what happened. A bolt broke off inside the bushing. It's stuck in there. I didn't really film it because I was quite pissed, but it was not really a big issue. One side broke off with a nut. The other side, I was able to get a grinder in there, cut it off, so the control arm came out. So thank God it all was fine. I was able to put a grinder through there between the subframe part and the control arm. So got it off and it was all good. Found another bolt in needed length and width. So should be good to go. The adjustable control arms are installed. Let's load the car up on the trailer and get ready for tomorrow to go to the alignment shop. See what those guys say about the control arms, about the whole setup, about not having camber plates up front, so that might be interesting. A drift alignment for E60, we'll see if there's anything interesting there. So yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hello! As you can see, the car is loaded onto the trailer, and today is Friday, and actually tomorrow there is quite fun Christmas drift event, and Saturday just before Christmas. But I have not yet gone to alignment shop. Plans changed a little bit. I was not able to go to the alignment shop because some guys there got sick, so they didn't have anyone to put on alignment in the times where I can actually go there. And with the Christmas holidays and New Year's, everything coming up, there are only a few work days there, so probably will not push it. There are, of course, multiple workshops and services all over the place that do alignment on cars, but those guys build drift cars and they know what they're talking, so I want to go there and also, while they're doing alignment, talk about the suspension, so on. Also, I might need on this car, what's bad, what's good, and essentially get it ready for drifting, because I don't really know what alignment I need. Of course, I could Google that and go to a regular shop and hope that they can put it on, but yeah, I just like to learn more about stuff and hopefully also explain in the video what I learned, what's good on E60s and what's not. So yeah, I just like going there because I know that they will set up the car for drifting, for what I need, for the power I have, for the wheels I plan to be driving and so on. And I thought, well, why sit on this footage? I can already publish this video, and I guess that's what happens when you try to do things at the last moment. So probably in the next video we will get this car to alignment shop, do the alignment. Few other things we need to put in a car is the passenger front seat, strut tower bars. I don't know, I think that's it. I think this car is pretty much more or less ready, just waiting for some snow. As you can see, there is no snow whatsoever. That's pretty much it. Hope you enjoyed the video. It was an interesting one, all over the place. More talking than usual, I don't know, comment on what type of videos do you prefer. More montages of doing stuff and less talking, or more talking about stuff and random stuff? I don't know. Anyway, I'll publish this video. I'm assuming there won't be another video for a week or two, I don't know. So, happy Christmas, happy New Year's, whenever will the next video be. Subscribe, like, see you next time. What I need from you guys is deciding what colors should they be. Both of my drift cars are black with red angel eyes, so they look like this and like this. 3 colors I have in mind, keeping them silver as they are now. I kind of like silver rims. The next option for me is either white or red. Please let me know in the comments what color should I choose.